At times, taking a moment to reflect and identify what truly brings us joy and fulfillment in life is all that we need. This is when I started to research actually and put a structure to find which way I could just make my life a little bit more meaningful instead of just constantly following whatever seems to follow most of the times. And that's when I quickly started realizing that I needed to change all my priorities. Taking care of ourselves through regular exercise, proper nutrition, and self-care, these are the practices that can actually help us to increase our energy levels, reduce stress, and actually have a better mood. And when we have all these things under control, we are more productive and we are way more motivated towards achieving our dreams. So make yourself a priority. You're not only investing in yourself, but you are also investing in your future success. What about passions, and what about those little things that used to bring a lot of meaning when we were kids? For me, I realized that things like hiking, camping, just getting out of the city more often will give me some sort of peace. So I kind of start swapping a lot of these crazy weekends when it was just all about party into just the things that will ground me a little bit more and it will slow down my life. I was lucky enough to have grown up in a family who prioritized many things over material things. Since a young age, I learned the importance of focusing on valuable things outside of the material world. My dad lived an extreme frugal lifestyle and he actually encouraged me to follow some of his steps, but I always thought that it was a little bit too extreme for me. But as I grew older, I realized that a lot of the things that he had told me, it was actually what it would bring a little bit more meaning into my life right now since I finally realized that I was doing something wrong. Let's move to simplifying, and this is when minimalism and essentialism kind of come together. So minimalism, we minimize a lot of the things we have. We declutter a lot of the crap we have sitting around that doesn't serve us in any way. And when we talk about essentialism, this is the part where I keep pushing in the last few years. I only want to focus in the things that are truly important. So taking that, I started my life into some sort of environment where frugal living was always kind of given to me. This is where I try to start now amplifying this into my lifestyle, that I don't need to chase anything, that I don't need to get bigger things, that I need to find meaning in other things, like love, like relationships, focusing in my passions, doing the things that I used to love when I was a child. Obviously, always keeping myself in the real world, knowing that tomorrow I need to pay bills, so I need to work towards something. Self-care is something that I only started doing about 2 years ago because I completely neglected myself physically. I'm also that kind of person that loves living that frugal lifestyle, even if I'm always chasing. Frugal living is always in my core, and I don't like spending a lot of money. I don't like spending a lot of time doing things which for me doesn't look like it will give me more. But I quickly realized that self-care, it was something that it was truly missing in my life. You find your own definition of self-care. If it's just going and doing your hair, dressing very nicely every single day, giving yourself a massage, paying for someone to give you a massage. For me, it was also this kind of mix in between getting myself a little bit more presentable and also getting myself a little bit more out in nature. That is, for me, the way I practice self-care. Staying true to your values. When I went into this crisis, and I think this happens to many people, we forget who we were. I was acting on many things. I was just searching for something that it will give me that instant happiness at that specific moments because I was in the chasing mode, because I only wanted something that it will just give me that instant gratification that we all know about. My core values in the past was always to stay away from this. I thought I was better than everyone else, and I fall into the trap, as most people do, that in order to feel that I could fulfill my life, I was just jumping into very unhealthy patterns that led me to a lot of instant gratification. And this is when I kind of needed to remind myself, stay true to your values. These moments are needed sometimes because out of these moments we tend to understand more of ourselves, but the whole point in this is just not to step away fully from the person that you were at some point, because sometimes life can slap you in the face and we turn more cynical, and this is when a lot of these behaviors happens.
Let's talk about relationships. As someone who values authenticity and genuine connections, I believe that real relationships play a crucial role in our pursuit of true happiness. Surrounding ourselves with people who accept us for who we are and provide emotional support and encouragement can help us to feel loved and fulfilled. And on the other hand, when we hang out with a lot of people in a very shallow or superficial environments, that can actually leave us feeling a little bit unsatisfied and alone. So building strong, meaningful connections with others is essential for our overall well-being and happiness.
And lastly, one of the biggest tools that is actually guiding me through something bigger than I know that exists is just self-development. What happens when you work a lot in yourself? You start knowing more about yourself. You start understanding more about what you like, what you don't like. You start also kind of opening more for growth and to just change a lot of the bad habits that you had or the bad patterns or the bad characteristics that you have as a human. It's not about being perfect. It's about acknowledging all of the things that you have to change in order to become a better person, if that's how we want to say it. So this is one of the biggest tools that I think is slowly guiding me through this path where I'm sure that not only me but everyone else can benefit from just confronting all your bad characteristics, all your traumas, all of these things that sometimes is holding us back to be a more happier and more fulfilled person in this world.
Identifying my values, my goals, my passions, and personal development has been instrumental in leading a more meaningful life. Overall, the process of self-discovery has been a journey of personal growth, self-awareness, and purpose. And my only hope is that this will lead me to a more meaningful and satisfying life.